Students, in the previous video I have discussed about the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. If the space between the plates of the capacitor is filled with air and if the whole space between the plates of the capacitor is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K. Now in this video I am going to discuss what can be the capacitance or expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor if the space between the plates of the parallel plate capacitor is partially filled with a dielectric slab of dielectric constant K. So students, see, the separation between the plates of the parallel plate capacitor is D and a dielectric slab whose thickness is less than the separation between the plates of the capacitor, and thickness of the dielectric slab is T and dielectric constant of the slab is K. If this slab is introduced between the plates of the capacitor, then what can be the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor? So to calculate the value of capacitance, we need to know what is the potential difference between the plates of the capacitor after introduction of this dielectric slab. For that, we need to calculate value of electric field in air space. What can be the value of electric field in air space? If surface area of the capacitor plate is A, charge given to the plate is Q. In that condition, electric field in the air space, again by the application of Gauss theorem, electric field in the presence of metallic plates charged. One plate is having positive charge, other plate is negative charge due to induction, as we have discussed in the previous video. So electric field in air space is going to be E1 equals charge divided by E epsilon naught by the formula E equals sigma by epsilon naught. If we replace sigma by Q divided by A, then it becomes electric field in the air space E1 equals Q by A epsilon naught. Similarly, what can be the value of electric field in this space where dielectric slab is placed? Electric field in dielectric medium is E2 equals Q divided by A epsilon naught into K. As you know, in the presence of a dielectric medium, electric field becomes 1 by K times its value in the presence of air. Now, what is potential difference between the plates of the capacitor? So potential difference between the plates of the capacitor can be given as dV equals potential difference in air space plus potential difference in the dielectric medium. So what is potential difference in air space? To get the value of potential difference in air space, again we are going to use the same formula. E is equal to dV by dr, that is dV equals E multiplied by dr. So what is potential difference in air space? Value of electric field in air space multiplied by width of the air space. What is width of the air space? Total distance D minus T. Remaining space is air space. So electric field multiplied by air space. This is potential difference in air space plus electric field in the dielectric medium multiplied by thickness of the dielectric slab. This is potential difference in dielectric medium. Now sum of these two is the potential difference between plates of the parallel plate capacitor. Now what is capacitance? As we have defined already, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, C is equal to charge divided by potential difference between the plates. So capacitance of this capacitor C equals charge Q divided by A epsilon naught is taken common, and what is remaining? D minus T plus T divided by K. Q cancels, A epsilon naught move to numerator, and capacitance for this capacitor is going to be C equals A epsilon naught divided by D minus T plus T divided by K. This is the formula. Or if we take common T from second and third terms, then formula for the capacitance of this capacitor can be written as C equals A epsilon naught divided by D minus T multiplied by 1 minus 1 by K. So this would be the formula if the space between the plates of parallel plate capacitor is partially filled with a dielectric slab. So students, now see what can be the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor if the space between the plates of the capacitor is partially filled with a conducting slab. Remember, the space is filled partially with a conducting slab of thickness T. So students, as I told you earlier, in the presence of a conductor in external electric field is existing between two plates of the capacitor. First plate given positive charge, negative charge of the same amount is induced on the inner face of the second plate, so that electric field in this region is existing. So what can be the value of electric field in the interior part of the conducting slab? As I told you earlier, the electric field inside a conductor placed in external electric field is always zero. Why this electric field becomes zero? By the polarization of free electrons towards positive plate and positive charges to the other face of the slab. So electric field in this part of the slab is zero. So what can be the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor? If thickness of this conducting slab is small t, the separation between two plates of the capacitor is small d, then first of all, what is electric field in air space? E1, suppose, that is given as Q divided by A epsilon naught. Electric field in the conducting slab, E2 equals 0. So what is potential difference between two plates of the capacitor? Potential difference between the plates of the capacitor dV is equal to electric field in air space multiplied by thickness of the air space. Air space is remaining d minus t, only this area, plus electric field in the conducting slab, that is 0 multiplied by t, so that potential difference between the plates of the capacitor is remaining Q divided by A epsilon naught multiplied by d minus t. Then what can be the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor? As we know the formula for capacitance of parallel plate capacitor, charge given to the plate of capacitor divided by potential difference between the plates. So charge given to the plate of the capacitor Q divided by Q by A epsilon naught d minus t, that is value of dV. So capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor becomes A epsilon naught divided by d minus t. If we take common d, what is remaining? Capacitance of this capacitor C is equal to A epsilon naught divided by d into 1 minus t by d. If the whole space between the plates of the capacitor is occupied by air, in that condition, if its capacitance is written C naught equals A epsilon naught divided by d, then what is the effect of introduction of this conducting slab? In the presence of this conducting slab, whose thickness is less than the separation between the plates of the capacitor, that is C equals C naught divided by 1 minus T divided by D. So introduction of a conducting slab between the plates of the capacitor, the original capacitance becomes 1 by 1 minus T by D times. Now students, see what can be the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor if multiple dielectric slabs of different constant and thickness are introduced between the plates of the capacitor. Suppose capacitor plates are separated by a distance d, and these are the slabs. First slab is of thickness T1, its dielectric constant K1, second of thickness T2, dielectric constant K2, T3, dielectric constant K3. In that condition, so after introduction of multiple slabs, the capacitance of the capacitor is going to be epsilon naught A divided by, suppose n number of such slabs are there. So their thickness are T1, T2, T3 up to Tn. Their dielectric constants are K1, K2, K3 up to Kn. So in that condition, the capacitance of the capacitor is given by this formula. C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D minus T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so on up to T1 plus T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T plus and so on divided by Tn divided by Kn. This would be the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. Students, see, this is a numerical problem based on potential, capacitance and charge, or you can say interrelation between capacitance, charge and potential difference. See, what is the question? N drops of mercury of equal radii and possessing equal charge combine to form a big drop. Compare the charge, capacitance and potential of big drop with the corresponding quantities of the individual drops. It means we have to find what can be the ratio of charge on individual drop is to charge on the big drop. So students, see, let Q be the charge on each small drop. What can be the capacitance of small drop? By the formula C equals 4 pi epsilon naught small r. Suppose small r is the radius of the small drop. What is potential on the surface of a small drop? V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by small r. This is potential on the surface of a sphere. As a sphere is of mercury drop, that is why charge potential on the surface of a small sphere is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r. Capital R is the radius of big drop. So by conservation of volume, if n small drops combine to form a big drop, suppose radius of the big drop is capital R, then what going to be the relation between radius of the big drop and radius of the small drop? So by conservation of volume, 4 by 3 pi small r cube into n is equal to 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. 4 by 3 pi cancels. The relation between capital R is equal to cube root of n multiplied by r. If charge on the big drop is q dash, if n small drops with charge q combine, what going to be the charge on the big drop? N multiplied by q. So what is the ratio of charge on big drop is to charge on the small drop? That going to be n. Students, see second part of the question. If radius of the big drop is n to power 1 by 3 small r, then what can be capacitance of the big drop? By the formula, capacitance of the big drop C dash is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by capital R. Capital R is radius of the big drop. So capacitance of the big drop is going to be 4 pi epsilon naught n to power 1 by 3 into R. That is radius of the big drop. So what is ratio of the capacitance of big drop is to capacitance of small drop? 4 pi epsilon naught n to power 1 by 3 R divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R. 4 pi epsilon naught small r cancels out. And answer for the second part of the question, ratio of capacitance of big drop is to small drop is n to power 1 by 3. Now what about third part of the question? You see, if radius of the big drop is r is equal to n to power 1 by 3 into small r. So what is potential of the big drop? The potential of the big drop is written as V dash equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge on the big drop is Q dash divided by radius of the big drop, that is capital R. So it's going to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught n into Q, where Q is charge on the small drop, divided by radius of the big drop, that is n to power 1 by 3 into small r. Then if we compare potential on the big drop divided by potential on the small drop, potential on the big drop is this, potential on the small drop this. So this ratio is coming out to be n to power 1 minus 1 by 3, and that becomes n to power 2 by 3. This is answer for the third part of the question.